Another absolutely gorgeous morning sky. Look at that. Just beautiful. The world is on fire. Morning. Bet that terrified you, didn't it? What a sight. What a sight. I am feeling absolutely revolting this morning. I've only just got up and out of bed. It's 10 to 8. I'm just about to start. I've just put a face mask on because my skin is so dry with this cold. And I'm just about to start editing yesterday's video. And when I've taken this off, put on some makeup and I'm feeling a bit more like a human being, we will start the day again. Good morning, good morning. Proper good morning this time. Ready for the day, such as it is. I'm not leaving the house today. I cannot tell you how much joy that fills me with. Actually, it's not true. I might have to go to the parcel lockers. But other than that, I am not leaving the house. Wicked was really good, by the way. Really enjoyed watching Wicked. It wasn't as good as the first one, I would say, but it was very enjoyable. Julia and I both said it didn't have any of the big, well-known songs in it, because they're all in the first half of both the stage show, I believe, and the film. But yeah, it was good. We enjoyed it. Apart from the fact, I've been really busy all day, and so when you're busy doing stuff, you tend not to notice feeling grotty, do you? And as soon as I sat down at the cinema, I felt absolutely awful. Luckily, I had some ibuprofen with me, so about an hour in, I went and bought a bottle of water and took some ibuprofen and felt better a little while after that, so that was good. Anyway, didn't do much last night. Right, today's advent calendar. Oh my goodness me! This is nice. We have a whole smoked brie. Have I ever had a smoked brie? Not sure I have. Handmade in the Cotswolds. Let's see what it says. I'm just moving back because I might be able to read it without turning the lights on and making myself look even iller than I feel. Cotswolds smoked brie is a delicious white soft cheese produced from organic milk and gently cold smoked to develop its delicate flavour. Yum, perfectly paired with a crisp white wine such as a Riesling makes the perfect match for this creamy, gently smoked cheese. Do you know what? It's Friday tonight. I will be having a glass of a crisp, dry white wine, not a Riesling, but we'll try a piece of it with that glass of wine later on together. How would that be? Also exciting news, I've had an email this morning saying my second advent calendar, cheese advent calendar delivery is coming between 12 and 1 today, so yay for that. That is my toast just popping up, so I don't usually have breakfast, but I think, do you ever get that thing where you feel a bit empty when you've got a cold? I find that quite often when I have a cold, that I feel like I need to eat. Feed a cold, starve a fever, as the old wives' tale goes. But I'm having a piece of toast. We're going to take a minute to talk about today's sponsor, which is Ultenic. We are going to talk once again about the Ultenic U20 vacuum cleaner. I feel like I need to go back a bit to show you the sorcery that is the fact that it stands up by itself. If you've watched me for a while, you'll know that these have been my stick vacuums of choice for the last 3 years. And the latest U20 model is next level brilliant. I love the fact it stands up. There is nothing more annoying than with other branded stick vacuum cleaners. You put them down for a minute, you lean them up against something and then they slide down, and more often than not the dustbin opens as it hits the floor and then you've got loads of mess to clean up. Don't get that with the Ultenic. I blimmin' love it. The battery's life is really good. It has 3 different modes. It's got the standard mode, which I use for my hard floors. It's got a carpet mode, which I use in my low pile carpets, and then it's got a turbo mode which I use in the bedrooms because I've got quite deep pile carpet in the bedrooms. On the standard mode it has about 60 minutes of battery life, which is really good, more than I need. And on the turbo mode it goes down to about 17 minutes on the turbo mode, but again that's only for my bedrooms and it's more than I need. So really good battery life. Got a bit of a story to tell you about this one actually, because as you know I've recently had my kitchen refurbished. I think this is the first time I've filmed in here for a sponsored segment, so that's quite exciting. But yeah, I've recently had my kitchen refurbished, and the kitchen fitter asked one day, he hadn't brought his vacuum up from the van, and he asked if he could borrow my vacuum to clean up after he'd done some of the fitting. And so I gave him this one, and he said to me, "That's a brilliant vacuum cleaner, where did you get that?" So I told him, and he ordered one there and then. He said, "I've just ordered one, really excited, it's arriving tomorrow." So I asked him a couple of weeks later how he was getting on with it, and he was really pleased with it. And I know a lot of you guys have bought Ultenic stick vacuums and are really delighted with them as well. I must just show you one other thing it does. It has this brilliant function that bends the tube. Hang on 1 second. I just put it down like that. So when, instead of having to bend down to hoover underneath things, you crack the tube like that, and you can stand up while it does all the hard work for you and goes underneath your furniture without you having to bend down. That is absolutely brilliant. It clips back in super simply and then goes back to standing up. Such a good vacuum, such a good price, particularly when compared with some of the more famous, well-known brands, let me say, and better in my opinion. It also has the green light technology, which is really useful, particularly on hard floors, I find, for picking up where there's bits of stuff that need to be hoovered up. Sometimes you can't see them if they're a similar colour to your floor, and it just lights everything up and shows you where you need to vacuum, so that's another really useful feature. I do of course have a discount code for you. All that info will be down there in the description box. I know a lot of you have bought Ultenic vacuums and are happy with them, and it is always a pleasure to work with Ultenic. It's really a brand that I can stand behind, and I feel it offers really good value for money as well. So thank you to Ultenic for sponsoring this part of today's video. I had to very seriously think about what number of date we're on before opening this morning. We're on number 5. Oh, it's this long drawer here. What have we got in here? Oh, I'm liking the look of this. Let me check there's nothing else in there. That's quite a big drawer for something that size. We have got something from Tweezerman. My favourite tweezers ever that I've had for about 20 years are from Tweezerman. Really hoping that's a nice pair of tweezers. We'll open it in a second. Out of the way. And good morning, Ford and Mason. Where is number 5 in here? Struggling to see these gold. Oh, it's down here, look. And we have, what do we have in here? English barley vodka. Now, I'm not a massive vodka drinker, but I quite like a vodka and orange in the summer. Ashley's more of a vodka drinker than I am, so perhaps that might be one for him. Or else something that we can mix in a cocktail with something else. We shall see. I can't remember if I've already said, but I have 2 coffee dates over FaceTime today. One with my friend Karen from the Geordie Grandma, whose channel I will link below. If you don't already watch her, you ought to. And one with Angela from Wraparound Plus, who I was talking about earlier on. Karen's at 10:30 and Angela's at 4 o'clock. So now, God, it's coming up to 10 o'clock already. I've just finished editing yesterday's video. Right, let me grab this whilst attempting not to spill it all over the place like I did yesterday. Every time I look at this, it makes me smile. It's so lovely. Number 5, here you are. Now, yesterday's one, Snow Pixie, which I completely forgot to look up what the scent profile was. I actually think I've got a full size of this Snow Pixie down here somewhere. I have. So hopefully that will tell us the fragrance notes. It was a bit disappointing, funnily enough, when I've used half of this one, which is a full size one from them. I thought this was a little bit disappointing as well. Does it say what the scent notes are? Sweet and whimsical blend of cotton candy, bubble gum. That's what I could smell yesterday. Yeah, definitely smells of bubble gum. Banana, pear drops, musk and vanilla. You see, that is a scent that I can really get behind. That sounds lovely. But it just didn't have very much throw. It was just not very strong at all. I could, you know, when you, the previous 3 days worth, that has just broken into a million pieces while getting it out, but that's okay. I'm saving them all in this box because one use isn't enough, so I'm going to mix them together and have a cornucopia of scent at some point. Right, where are we? Number 5, we're getting distracted. That's what it looks like on the front, and we have cranberry, orange and cinnamon. That sounds very festive. I like the sound of that. Now, that doesn't smell of much. However, I do have a cold today. Yeah, we'll see about this one. I could be not being fair to that one at the moment. Right, I need to look at this Tweezer Man gift. Bear with. Right, what do we have in here? It's a micro mini slant tweezer. Okay. Can't get it out of the box. God, it is micro mini. It's teeny tiny. Look at that. For comparison, this is my current Tweezer Man at Tweezers. It's the same tweezers. Actually, that's quite good. That's my current ones. And that is the mini ones. That's quite good. I'm sure they will be very useful. As I say, big fan of the brand already, so I don't need selling on the brand at all. So that's quite exciting. Very happy with those. Right, things I've got to do today. As I said, I've just edited yesterday's video. I want to talk to you about 2 things actually, one of which is what's coming up in Vlogmas. I'm having a couple of days off in the next week, so there won't be a video on those days, but it will, you know, it's a big time commitment for both you guys and for me, isn't it? You know, watching 30-40 minutes of video every day is not something that I take lightly that you do, so I am very grateful for you taking the time out of your busy days to watch me. That's very nice. I'm feeling like it might be a 2 cup of coffee morning. I'm going to go and make myself a coffee. I've got my chat with Karen at 1:30, and actually we need to do outfit of the day. I'm going to go and grab my, can we do it with this camera? I don't know if we can, you know. We possibly could. This just works so much better for outfit of the day, doing it upright. I realise it cuts a little bit of your screen off, but in terms of perspective of the camera, it just works so much better. Today, as I said, I'm not leaving the house. I have on this 2-piece green, effectively loungewear, but because it's got the sort of, what are we calling this? Patterned edges, patterned cuff, patterned hem on the trousers. It feels a little bit more put together. It doesn't feel like I'm wearing my pyjamas, so I feel like I can get away with it. This was from Temu. I will obviously link it if I can find it, if they've still got it. It's really nice quality, this. It's not lightweight, it's not heavyweight. That means, Caroline, that it's medium weight. But it just feels like a nicely made, dense knit that feels quite nice quality. It's got a lovely elasticated waist. It's not too long on the leg, which I'm always grateful for, as you know. Shoe-wise, I have these on. These are also from Temu. These are somewhere between slippers and a shoe. I've got to take this off to show you. I showed you them in my last Temu haul or the one before, and I love them, and they have almost not been off my feet since. I have actually worn them out to the supermarket. They've got a big rust. They've got an outside sole. It's not a slipper type sole, so they are sort of meant to be outside shoes, and they've got the gold buckle or gold strap-ons. They feel a bit more shoe-like, but also have the comfort of the slippers because they're fur-lined or fleece-lined and so comfy. They're not going to last forever because any fur-lined, fleece-lined piece of footwear just doesn't, does it? But anyway, yes, that is today's outfit. I've got earrings. I think they're the same as yesterday, actually, aren't they? Yeah, the little Celtic Temu earrings. Head to toe Temu today. Right, it started. I had a really nice chat with Karen, Geordie Grandma. catch up and chat about all things YouTube. It's a nice, I think I've said it before, it's nice to chat to other people who have YouTube channels. It feels like, you know, in a very solitary job, it's nice to have other people to bounce ideas off and chat about all things in the sort of back end of YouTube and just general worky type stuff. So it was very nice. We got on well. We always have a laugh, Karen and myself. So that was very nice. It's now 11:30 and I am heading out to, annoyingly, I've just downloaded a digital instead of a printable. Actually, this is too boring for me to tell you. I'm heading out to post parcels at the lockers, basically. So I wanted to talk about things we should keep in our heads. Kind thoughts. We all have thoughts about other people that are not necessarily kind things. There's nothing wrong with having unkind thoughts. It's part of being human, I think. We have thoughts that are best kept inside our own heads. But the advent of the internet seems to have meant, and the longer social media and the internet go on for, the more people seem, or a lot of people seem, unable to distinguish between the thoughts that should be kept inside our own head and those that are okay to be set free into the world. You know, many's the time that I have watched a video on YouTube of, let's say, for example, I'm making stuff up out of my head here. Someone has given their lounge a makeover and they've got some new furniture, and I think, gosh, that sofa's absolutely hideous. What an awful sofa. Why on earth did she choose that? Or somebody's trying on some clothes and they put a skirt on and I think, God, that does absolutely nothing for you, that skirt. This colour doesn't suit you, the style's all wrong. You know, those thoughts. Do I then type those thoughts out? No, I don't. And it's not that I'm not allowed to have an opinion. Everybody is allowed to have an opinion. We all have opinions all day, every day, about all sorts of things. But we don't necessarily need to share those opinions if there is a chance that they might be unkind or taken in the wrong way. It's not always necessary to articulate that. You can think it, but let it stay inside your head. Let it just stay inside your head. That would be far better for everybody concerned, I think. Now, I've been doing this job long enough that I'm very thick-skinned, let's just say. You need to be, otherwise I'd probably stop making videos about 8 years ago. But just in the last week, let me give you an example of 3 different comments I've received. I talked, if you remember, in my kitchen refurbishment video, I talked about, we were thinking of having some neon light tube wall art put on the wall. Somebody left a comment saying, that neon thing would be really tacky. And then when I had my hair cut earlier this week, somebody left a comment saying, please change your hairdresser, that style is awful and really ages you. And I could give you any number of comments about what I wear, what I look like, my appearance. I can't think of another one off the top of my head immediately, but that's just in the last week. Now, as I say, these comments don't bother me. They will say far more about the person writing them than they ever will about me. But my hairdresser sometimes watches my videos, and she might be not quite as robust about the world of social media as me. She might be really hurt by that comment, you know. She might be really upset by that. It might ruin her day. And of course there is the issue that a lot of the people leaving these comments, these types of comments, are actually out there trying to ruin someone's day, which is why I make it my business to make sure I have the best day ever. I mean, particularly when I get one of those types of comments. I think a good rule of thumb is that if you need to preface your comment with just my opinion, but, or I don't mean to be rude, but, rest assured you're probably about to be really bloody rude, and maybe keep it in your head. But maybe it's just one of those things that should be kept in your head. It's fine to think it, it's fine to have the opinion, but you don't necessarily need to put it out there into the world. Also, remember that trying to dim someone else's light doesn't make yours shine any brighter. It probably does the absolute opposite. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk anyway. Nearly at the parcel lockers, so that passed a journey, didn't it? Oh, I'm feeling absolutely revolting today. Really, really yucky. As is the weather. The weather is looking pretty vile. I've talked about these, I think, in a newsletter before. If you want to receive my free regular newsletter, although it hasn't been that regular, there's always a link in the description box. My free regular email newsletter. Those are the words that I was trying to say in that order. I did talk about these once in one of those, but these are so good for a quick, easy lunch. I absolutely love them. I just get them in Tesco's, bung them in the freezer, and they take 2 minutes 20 in the microwave. Just bung them in literally in this packet, and then I top them with, today I have a couple of sprinkled, oh God, apparently I can't speak today. Hang on one sec, I've got to just add, get the face tracking thing going on. Is that going to work now? No, it's not. Couple of spring onions, which I'm going to chop up while they're in the microwave, and a little bit of soy sauce, and some of this stuff, which I cannot recommend enough. This is crispy chili in, I think it's in oil, and it is honestly the most delicious thing ever. We put it on top of all sorts of different things. It's got such a nice savoury flavour. Bit spicy, obviously, because it's chili. Yeah, a little spoonful. I get this from Amazon. I'll pop a link in case anybody's interested. It's really, really nice. This is about my 3rd jar, I think, since I discovered it. Right, I'll show you when it's done anyway. Do you know what doing Vlogmas feels like? Doing Vlogmas feels like being a duck. Bear with me here. Being a duck in that you produce these daily videos, and daily videos turn up on time, and that part of it is like being a duck, sailing across the water, seeing the top half of the duck just meandering across the lake happily. Meanwhile, underneath its little feet are going like this. And that's what my actual life has felt like this week. I am finding it impossible to get on top of everything else that I need to be on top with. I'm finding it quite hard, I'll be perfectly honest. I have got a break coming up because I'm doing 2 days where there's not going to be a video, and it might be 3 days over the next 10, I think. Oh, just nearly lost a dumpling, come back. But yeah, I feel like one of those ducks that appears to be serenely floating across the water while its little legs are going 19 to the dozen underneath. Practically trying to keep up with everything. It's a measure of how, my favourite thing to do is my Advent jigsaw, and I haven't done it. This is the 3rd day that I haven't yet done it. So I've got to do that this afternoon. I think it doesn't help that I've had this cold as well, because not that I've stopped, but my energy levels have been somewhat depleted, and perhaps I haven't been as efficient as I could have been throughout Vlogmas so far. But yeah, my goodness me. Life is lifing. It certainly is. The extravaganza, which is my dumplings, with soy sauce, crispy chili, and some chopped up spring onions. Yum. They're low in calories as well. Today's weather is not helping me feel very buoyant at all. I still haven't done. I'm going to go and put the heating on. It's 1:45, and I'm really cold. I'm going to go and put the heating on. Treat myself to putting the heating on. This smells nice. I noticed it when I came in. I can't smell it fully, but it definitely smells very pleasant and fruity with a Christmas twist, I would say. So I'm going to keep this little box. I'm keeping the boxes with the names of the ones that I like best, along with the wax melts there. So yeah, very pleasant, that one. I was going to tell you what product I tried out today, which was, let me grab my glasses. I've just taken some ibuprofen, so I'm hoping I'm going to be feeling a bit better. So this was the Delilah Smooth Shadow Stick. Now, I don't really like eye crayons. I have tried out a lot of the Laura Mercier ones, the Bobbi Brown ones, and I don't particularly love them. This one came in a little Delilah set of stuff. Do you know, I'm laughing because I tried this on my hand before I tried it on my eyes. It's now 1:45, 9 o'clock this morning. I have washed my hands thoroughly at least twice since then. And look, still on my hand. So it's got good staying power. We can give it that. If you are looking for an eyeshadow stick with cracking staying power, this could be your boy. I actually quite liked it. I just put it sort of almost all over my eye and then put, I don't know if it's probably still on there, I've been wiping my face and it also. I put it all over my mobile eyelid, and I did put a little bit of sort of a slightly more sparkly, glittery, shimmery shade over the top of it because it was a little bit too matte for my liking, although it does look quite shiny on there. But yes, it is very much still there. So it's good in terms of long wearing. I mean, I do use an eye primer, which is this one here. The NYX Glitter Primer, best primer ever. If you want eyeshadow to stick to your eyelids like glue all day until you take it off, recommend this. I'll pop a link for this in the description box. Again, this is something that I have discovered this year, and literally the best eye primer I've ever used. But yeah, I enjoyed the eye crayon. I will definitely use it again. I'll use it up, but I won't. As I say, it's not something I'd have bought as a standalone product because I'm not a massive lover of eye crayons. I tend to prefer powder shadows. But I enjoyed using it, and I'll give it another go. It's 3 o'clock, and look at how dark it is. Seriously, it's like night time out there. Ridiculous. I have done... Oh, I've turned you the wrong way around. I have done this. Do I hate doing it with every fibre of my being? Absolutely. Do I really like what it looks like when it's done? Also, yes. It still needs the decorations. I do hanging decorations off it as well, but I've done the actual garland and the lights, which I hate doing. I've been thinking about that all week, so I'm so glad that's done. Just let me... Oh, where's my glasses? Oh, where's my glasses? Need my specs. 2 seconds. There they are. You can go there. A minute. I've postponed my chat with Angela till Monday because I just feel absolutely rotten, if I'm honest. I've just taken ibuprofen, and then I found these Sudafed. Relieves sinus pressure, pain and tension, unblocks your sinuses and nose. I tend to just stick to ibuprofen usually, but perhaps I'll have one of those a bit later if I feel... I'm hoping the ibuprofen will kick in shortly. I'll feel a bit more like myself. Anyway, do you know what? I'm going to shut the blinds. It's that sort of a day, isn't it? Honestly. Is the door locked? Yes. I'm going to shut all the blinds and the curtain. Oh, are you following me or not? Yes, you are. That's good. I'm going to shut all the blinds and the curtains and make it all cosy. I've already lit my candles. And you know what I'm going to do? I've answered all the emails I need to answer pretty much. Trouble is, we're going away in January, is that I'm getting work in for January now, all the brands and things, which is lovely, don't get me wrong, because January is usually a pretty dry month, so it's very nice to be having work coming in ahead of time and know that there's going to be stuff going on in January. But I'm having to really think ahead because we're away for quite a lot of January. In terms of just timescales and planning ahead and everything. So I've had to do a couple of orders for videos for January as well, and that's been playing on my mind all week, so I'm glad that that's got done. I'm also worried that I'm not feeling well because we've got a little thing planned this weekend, and I didn't want to not give myself to have a little bit of a rest today, this afternoon, if I felt I needed to, because I don't want to make myself, when you just keep going and going and going and then feel awful all weekend when you actually stop. I don't want to do that because we've got stuff on, let's be honest, all the time from now until Christmas. In a way, I'm glad I've had a cold this week rather than next week, because more stuff on next week. Anyway, I think I'm going to finish off today. Now, there will not be a video tomorrow, which I think for you is Monday. Yeah, there won't be a video on Monday. But I'm going to amalgamate the weekend. I'll try and do a longish one for you on Tuesday. I'm going to film both Saturday and Sunday. But I will try, and that will go up on Tuesday. So no video on Monday, but there will be a video again Tuesday. Hopefully that's okay. Don't forget to check out Ultenic if you are in the market for a stick vacuum that doesn't break your back, works really well, and is better than a lot of the branded ones. All the information is down there, so don't forget that. Can you hear that rain coming in through there? Well, not in, but on the top of the dome. It's absolutely torrential. I do hope it's not like this tomorrow in Plymouth. That's all I'm saying, because we have to do some walking. I will be taking my umbrella and possibly my raincoat and my wellies as well, by the sounds of it. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this one. I hope you're having a good day, and by the time you see me next, I will have finished this thing. Oh, no, it wants to focus on me. No, off you go round there. I will have finished this thing and hung stuff on it. I say that now. I don't know if I will or not. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. I'm just waffling now. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.